الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين. أما بعد, Allah Tabaraka Ta'ala tells us in Surah Al-Talaq, chapter 65 and verse 12, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الله الذي خلق 7 سماوات ومن الأرض مثلهن يتنزل الأمر بينهن لتعلموا أن الله على كل شيء قدير وأن الله قد أحاط بكل شيء علما. It is Allah who has created 7 heavens and of the earth, the like of them. His command descends among them so you may know that Allah is over all things competent and that Allah has encompassed all things in knowledge. Samawati wal ard is the universe, everything except Allah. And it is mind-boggling when you think of how vast it is and how wondrous, full of wonders. There are things that we see that are 300 billion light years away. And it's expanding. How big is this universe? Only Allah knows. It's just mind-boggling. And Allah did not create this universe in vain. It has a purpose. It's so great it has a purpose. For example, if you're gonna throw a quick bazaar, you'd put a bunch of tents. But if you're gonna build something that's more permanent, you build a nice university, and it's much more, it's built to last. So a universe this magnificent, it's there for a reason. And it is there to lead us to Allah. It's a showcase of Allah's beautiful names, His knowledge, His power, His wisdom, all of the beautiful names, they're all manifested in this great universe. And the reference to the 7 heavens and and of the earth, the like of them. Now there is no 7 earths. There's only one earth, and all of the verses that talk about earth, it's al-ard. There is no aradin. There is no plural form. It's one earth and seven heavens. And one of the explanations is maybe it could be the different layers of earth matches the different layers in the sky, in the heavens. Another says that number 7 was used by the Arabs to signify numerous, like abundance. So when you say 7 heavens, it's abundant. They use that number. Or another explanation, it says the earth shares the same order and the same laws that govern the heavens. Gravity, it goes, and a body rotating over another body, it goes from the atom all the way to the galaxies. The same law applies from the smallest thing to the biggest thing. And this unity in laws and behavior leads us to there's one creator. If there were more than one creator, everyone would have their own design and they will clash with each other. But no. The whole universe is built on single law that governs everything. So regardless what that means, we are not responsible to know the exact meaning of that verse of 7 heavens or 7 earths. It doesn't really add anything other than just that's the knowledge. And Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if you look at the seerah, there are many verses in the Quran that talks about cosmic things. He never explained any of them. His sunnah explains more things that are of use for us. How to pray, how to fast, how to do this, what do you do this. But he never explained anything that deals with the universe. He left it for every generation. As science improves and advances, they may come with a different understanding of what those verses mean. If he had explained it exactly like it is, his contemporaries would not have accepted it because they didn't have the knowledge. And if he simplified it, we would not, we would have a problem with that explanation. So he left those out of his wisdom and out of Allah's wisdom. that none of those explanations were in the Sunnah. So the critical point behind the creations of the heaven and earth is لِتَعْلَمُوا, that you know, knowledge. Knowledge is what separates man from beast. Knowledge is what Allah endowed us with, that we can use our mind to deduce things, to arrive at the true nature of things without having to see it, just from its evidence. So to use this mind that Allah endowed us to realize, not just to create scientific things and live in a luxury. This mind was created to know Allah, to know His greatness, to ponder everything that's around us and see Allah's hands, perfect creation in everything, in events, in everything that we see. We have to see Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. We have to see His wisdom, His greatness, His ability, His power, and His never-ending dominion. And the one who ignores knowledge and doesn't bother to do that, lower themselves to a level that does not befit man. Animals don't think. And if a person doesn't think, he's acting like animals. I mean, you cannot, it doesn't befit us to be Allah's best creation and not use that mind that Allah gave us to know Him. So what is this critical knowledge that Allah created this heavens and earth? لِتَعْلَمُوا what? What, Ya Allah? What do you want us to know behind the creation of this universe? لِتَعْلَمُوا أَنَّ اللَّهَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ قَدْ أَحَاطَ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عِلْمًا. So that you may know that Allah is over all things competent, and that Allah has encompassed all things in knowledge. Allah Ta'ala chose two of His names, two of His attributes, power and knowledge. These are the two things that are most important to us. Power, Allah's power, and Allah's knowledge. He knows everything and He can do whatever He wants with wisdom. The foundation of faith is the correct knowledge of Allah. So knowledge is very important for us. And the universe will lead us that there is a creator for it. And Allah's revelation will show us how to worship Him. And people who know the rules but fail to know who issued them will circumvent them. But people who truly know who Allah is, who issued that command, they will not go against that command. So when you know that Allah has knowledge and power, will you disobey Him? If you disobey Him, there's something wrong in that understanding. And I give you just from a human interaction. You're stopped at a stoplight. There's a camera. Will you cross that line? Will you run the red light? A sane person will not. Why? Because you know that the Secretary of State has the knowledge and has the power to send you a ticket or impound your car, or put you in prison. You know that knowledge and power are involved. So with another human being, you will not cross that line. Why do we cross that line with Allah Ta'ala? Why do we sin? We sin out of ignorance because we don't really understand who it is, this great Lord that gave us these rules, these do's and don'ts. When we go against them, we do that out of ignorance of who this Allah Ta'ala that we're disobeying. So when we have the true understanding of who Allah is and what His commands are, we will not go against them. So this is the truth that's at the heart of the faith. You want to summarize the faith? It's Allah exists, He is one, He knows, and He will take account. Those four things. Keep them in your mind all the time and watch how it changes your behavior. When do people break the law? When they think nobody's watching, or nobody knows. When Allah Tabaraka Ta'ala knows everything that we're doing, He's with us all the time. There is no hiding from Allah. His knowledge extends to our intention and our thoughts. Other human beings, they see what you're doing, but they don't know what you're thinking. Allah Tabaraka Ta'ala has that knowledge. He knows exactly what we're thinking and what the intention behind the act. And He is capable of stopping us or punishing us for when we go wrong. So how can we disobey Him? The one who disobeys Allah is labeled as foolish, crazy. Something's not right. The belief in Allah, there's something wrong with it when somebody disobeys Allah knowingly. So be mindful that Allah Tabaraka Ta'ala is watching us and watching everything, and nothing escapes His watch. He knows everything that we're doing, everything we're thinking. Even if you do something that other people see as a good thing, Allah knows your intention. Maybe you did not intend it and it came out that way. Allah knows. And He is just, and He will treat us with justice. And we have to be mindful of Allah because everything is in His hands. Our health, our children, our livelihood, our happiness, our eternal happiness, everything is in Allah's hands. So we have to be mindful of Allah, increase our taqwa. And Ramadan is such a month to increase this level of taqwa. To watch what Allah wants from us with the same fervor that we watch, that we make sure that we don't drink water or we don't break our fast. It's elevating our taqwa. When we have that taqwa, then it has to change our behavior. So, disobedience invites correction, and we do not want to be corrected. You want to be happy and safe in this life? Obey Allah. Because obedience of Allah is not just for the hereafter, it's for this life too. He gave us the ideal path to follow. You follow it, you'll be happy in this life and in the next, inshallah. So we have to keep this fact cemented in our hearts, and it would result in steadfastness and obedience. To know that Allah is one, He exists, He knows everything that we're doing, and He will take account. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لكم فاستغفروه إنه الغفور الرحيم.